Hello, Forest families. It is Friday, October 7th, and here's your weekend review. Forest families, I am sitting here with Callie. Callie is a kindergartner in Mrs. Peterson's class. How's school going so far, Callie?
Good.
Do you love coming to school? Is school the best place ever? Well, maybe next to Disneyland, right? Right. So, Callie, what are we learning in class right now? What letter are we working on?
B.
B. And give me two words to start with the letter B.
Bike and B.
Bike and B. And the letter B makes what sound?
B.
Bud. Nicely done. What color are we working on?
Blue.
Wait a minute. What letter does blue start with?
B.
Oh, you're so smart. And then what shape are we working on right now?
A circle.
A circle. Wait a minute. What looks like a circle and we bounce on the floor? What's that called?
A ball.
A ball. What letter does ball start with?
B.
Yeah. She is so smart. And then what numbers are we working on? We're counting up to what right now?
2.
2. So show them how you count to 2.
0, 1, 2.
Nice job. Oh, you showed 3. You're getting ahead of yourself. So smart. That's all right. All right, so you've been in school a month now. What's your favorite thing about school so far?
Lunch and centers and recess.
Oh, so many things, but you just love being here, don't you? Fantastic. Can I get a high five? Kindergarten, having fun. Hi, everybody. I am sitting here with one of my favorite first graders, Adam Breezy. Adam, how you doing today?
Good.
Good. Adam, what are we doing in reading right now?
Short I words.
Short I words. Can you give me an example of a couple short I words?
Kim. Sit.
Sit. Would smile be a short I sound?
No.
No. It's that short, the I sound, right? And in math, what are we doing in math right now?
We're making number bonds.
Still working on number bonds. Did you guys play shake the disc game the other day?
Yeah.
Yep. They were in the classroom and they get a bucket, right? They get a bucket. What's in the bucket? Or in the basket?
We get a bag and then we get a disc out and then we shake it up and let it on the table.
Okay.
And then we gotta count. And then if we get it, like, we gotta count all of them, put it in the top number bond. And if it's like 3 or 5.
Yep, 3 and 5. So 3 and 5 at the bottom, it would equal
8.
8. So that's how you're working on the number bonds, but you're sitting here you're looking at the tiles and help coming up with the number bonds, right? Cool. And then we're doing spelling test, right? What was one of your spelling words that you had?
Look.
Look. All right, I'm going to test you right now. You ready? Spell look.
L-O-O-K.
Aha, nicely done. All right, we've been here school a month. What's the favorite thing about being in school right now?
Math.
Math. Why do you like math so much?
Because I like writing numbers.
I like writing numbers and doing math stuff. Adam Breezy, fantastic, buddy. Give me nuts. First grade, having fun. Afternoon, Forest. I am here with A. Marie. How'd they do that time?
Good.
Do it? All right. A. Marie, she's a student in our 3rd grade class. A. Marie, in 3rd grade, what are we doing in reading right now with our book buddies and stuff?
We're working on who, when, what, and why.
So who's the character, where they're at, what they're doing, and why they're doing it, right? So kind of goes along with what you were doing with character traits. Okay. And then I know in 3rd grade we are reading the book, the Winn-Dixie book, right? What's going on right now? Because everybody's keeping track of what's going on. You got to keep them up to date.
We're reading where the Opal is talking to Miss Franny Block, the librarian, and she was like telling Opal about all the mistakes she made, and she started to shake a little.
Oh, so big turning point in the story, right? And right now you don't know what happened. You got to wait till Monday, don't you? Ah, that's a bummer. All right, so what about math? What are we doing in math?
We're working on our multiplication, and I'm working on my 3s.
Working on your 3s. All right, you ready? I'm gonna quiz you on 2. Ready? 3 times 3.
6.
3 times 3.
I mean 9.
9. 3 times 6.
18. 15.
There you go. Nicely done. And then I know you guys are doing social studies right now, right? So we've been doing maps, coordinates, stuff like that. Now what are we working on?
We're working on landforms.
Landforms. Give me an example of a landform.
An island.
An island. And why is that considered a landform?
Because it has land on it, surrounded by water.
Ah, all right. What else would be another form of a landform?
A mountain.
A mountain. That's another. So in essence, it has to be something big, right? To constitute as a landform. All right, we've been in school a month. What's your favorite thing about school?
Everything.
Everything. So library, recess, special classes, reading, math. You like all that stuff? Isn't that great? Third grade, having fun. Give me some knocks. Have a good weekend. I am here with River. River is in second grade. He has two teachers. He has Mrs. Sidewright and Mrs. Masters. So in Mrs. Sidewright's class, what are we working on?
We're working on decomposing.
And that's for math, right?
Yeah, it's for math.
All right. So decomposing numbers. So breaking them down. And are we using the iPads to do that, or are we using the dry erase boards to do that?
We're using the iPads and kind of mostly the iPads, but the dry erase boards we use every now and then.
Gotcha. And in Mrs. Masters' class, what are we doing?
We're doing reading, and that reading is word problems, some books, and a bit with the whiteboards.
Gotcha. Okay. And then we're also, whose class do we go to for social studies?
We do social studies in our homeroom.
All right, so that's Mrs. Sidewright. And aren't you guys working on communities and stuff like that in social studies?
Urban, rural, and suburban.
Suburban, fantastic. And what kind of community do we live in here?
We live in a suburban.
In a suburban. Why do we live in a suburban?
Because, like, do you know how, like, in... I forgot the community I was going to say, but do you know how in New York it's one of those communities and the buildings are all squished together?
Oh, yes, all apartment buildings and really on top of them.
Ours is just like kind of like there's a house right there, there's one right there. Like they have like these gaps and sometimes they have a fence.
Gotcha. And now Mr. Gribble doesn't live in a suburban area. Mr. Gribble lives in the country. What is that considered?
That's considered a rural?
Yes, it is. All right, so River he won for the White Buck draws, and he chose to have lunch with me. And yesterday, we did something really cool. You want to share with them what we did yesterday, River?
Yeah.
What did we do yesterday?
We had these little Azobots.
Go grab them real quick. Grab them real quick and show them to everybody. Usually right in the box.
What?
Yep, here you go. So we have these little robots. They're called Azobots. And explain what we did here with the paper, River.
Like we usually use the yellow one, and this would be laying on a table, and it'd be like pretend that my hand was the robot thing. It like follow the line, and we could make cool designs. Like I made a loop-de-loop for the Azobot. And it's just really cool. So,
in essence, if you can see, there's different colors on here. What happens sometimes when the robot went over a different color? What did it do?
It usually, like, dance or something.
And what did it do with its color?
It changed colors.
Changed color for whatever line it was going over, right? And then yesterday we figured out with coding, what would happen when it went on the green line to the red dot? What did it do?
That made him do a dance move.
Made him dance move. So that was Azobots. So that was kind of cool yesterday, exploring the Azobots during lunch. So those are the cool things you get to do when you have lunch with the principal. We don't just sit down here and just eat lunch. We play and try things out. But yes, Azobots, really cool. River, have a good weekend. Thank you, buddy. Give me some knocks. Second grade. I am here with Samantha Breezy. She is one of our fourth graders. And who's your homeroom teacher?
Mrs. Hunter.
Mrs. Hunter. So, but in fourth grade, they actually go to all three teachers. They go to Mrs. Grunwald for language arts and reading, Mrs. Curry for math, and then Mrs. Hunter for science and social studies. So let's go to reading first. What are we doing right now in reading?
doing Tales of Fourth Grade Nothing play.
Doing a play? And what's your role in the play? What do you have?
I'm the videographer.
The videographer. All right. So what's that do? What's that job do?
It's the person who tapes it.
Ah, gotcha. Cool. All right, kind of like what we're doing right now. All right. So chapter 3. What's going on in the tale of third grade nothing right now?
4. Fudge is acting like he's a bird and jumping off the playground, and he lost his 2 front teeth.
We're not doing that for real. Who's the guy?
No.
The students here that's playing fudge. We're not going outside and taping that, right? All right. So we don't have to worry about someone losing their teeth. All right. All right. Now, okay, we got done that. Now we go into Mrs. Curry's class. What are we working on in Mrs. Curry's class?
We're working on rounding.
Rounding. So if there's a line of numbers, Mrs. Curry says round this number to the nearest what?
100,000, 10,000.
Ooh, even that high, huh? Well, cool. All right, and let me see. And now, Mrs. Hunter's class, science class. I saw you guys do something really cool today. What did I see?
Paper airplanes trying out models and stuff.
Flying paper airplanes in school? I used to get in trouble for that, and you're doing it as a class? So what was the purpose of trying to do, was it most scientific method? What was the idea behind doing the paper airplanes? What were we trying to do?
We were finding out which one would go the farthest.
Go the farthest. And your style, you picked which style?
The bat.
The bat. And how'd the bat do?
Horribly.
Horribly. You know why? Probably because it wasn't dark in there. All right, so first month of school, what's your favorite thing about being in school right now?
Science.
Science. And why science?
Because it's the best. I like STEM.
Like STEM. Who wouldn't like STEM? You get to make paper airplanes. All right, Sam, thank you. Give me some nuts. Have a good weekend. I am here with not a floating head. He happened to be wearing a green shirt today. Just this part of Camden's stack. You can see he's got the shirts. But Camden, you're in 5th grade. Who's your teacher?
Mr. Newland.
And actually, you kind of share both teachers down there, don't you?
Yep.
Okay. So, all right, let's talk about some things that are going on in 5th grade. What are we learning in math right now?
We're learning decimals, subtracting, adding, multiplying, dividing decimals.
Holy cow. Now, and here's the thing, when we're talking about doing all those types of things to decimals, the rules change for all of them, don't they?
Yeah.
So, for add and subtraction, we got to make sure, what's the big rule we got to make sure that we're doing there?
You gotta line up the decimals.
Line up the decimals, and add and multiply and dividing, what do you got to do?
Line up the decimals also.
You got to line them up, but then after you do it, you got to count how many spaces past the decimal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, reading. What are we doing in reading right now?
We're reading Bridge to Terabithia.
Okay, and what chapter are we in?
Chapter 6.
Okay, so give us a rundown of what's going on in Chapter 6 in the Bridge to Terabithia.
In Chapter 6, they just got a new dog for their castle in the forest.
Okay, so, and the reason for them getting a dog was for what?
To guard the castle.
To guard the castle. All right, and then let me see, we're doing science right now, and you guys are doing some really cool stuff in science right now. What are you working on?
We're working on the egg drop.
Share with them what the egg drop challenge is.
The egg drop is where you build a contraption to try and keep an egg from cracking when you drop it.
And how did you do on your first attempt?
We failed.
Failed. Wait a minute. Fail. What? That sounds familiar.
First attempt at learning.
Our first attempt at learning. So now you did it. You failed, or are we done? Or
no, we're doing it a couple more times.
Oh, so you get to learn from our mistakes and try to work on our design and continue to do it. Hopefully, you guys aren't making a mess out there, and we can start cooking breakfast, are you?
No.
But we're giving you a chance to redesign, recreate. This didn't work. Let's try that. Now, is there any big borrowing and stealing from other people's ideas that did work and didn't work?
Not really.
Not really? Okay. So, all right, we've been here a month. What's the favorite thing besides being a floating head on Mr. Gribble's videos?
I gotta say the egg drop.
Doing some science, doing something different. It kind of beats just sitting there and reading or working on math. You get to sit, get up. And kind of like that Genius Hour stuff you guys started last year, right?
Yeah.
Doing some things, doing something different, having some fun. And then being creative, coming up with different ideas, sharing ideas with our friends, doing those types of things.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. 5th grade, doing some great things here at Forest. Thanks, buddy. Give me some nuts. Oh, you just saw a hand come out of nowhere. That was crazy. Okay, Forest families, I'm hoping you're enjoying the videos because I know the kids are really enjoying this. So if you have not signed up for your Remind accounts, or your Class Dojo accounts with your teachers, make sure you do that. Looking ahead for the month of October, we have the Penny Awards the week of the 17th because that is Make a Difference week. The picture retakes for the 21st. Parent-teacher conferences the 26th and 27th. That week is also our book fair, and then that Monday after all that is our half day for Halloween where the students get to wear costumes. I have more information coming out to you on that, but just want to give you a rundown for the month of October. A lot of great things are going on. I enjoy being in the classroom. We had some visitors come in this week and just really share that, you know what, this is a really cool place. I like what you guys are doing here. And I'm like, no, it's all about the kids, the teachers, and our community is what makes Forest fantastic. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday.